Title: The Sky Below. The day the ether compass began to hum, Kale knew the winds were calling him again. He had been drifting among the floating isles of Nuvra for weeks, searching for the legendary sky below, a place said to be where the endless clouds parted, revealing the heart of the world. Every explorer before him had vanished trying to find it, but Kale wasn't like them. He carried his father's compass, an artifact that didn't point north, but toward truth. 1. The sky of islands. The world above the clouds was a fragile labyrinth of floating continents, each tethered to the others by luminous energy strands known as sky veins. Below, the clouds shimmered like silver oceans, their surface occasionally breaking to reveal flashes of light, like a heartbeat in the mist. Air whales drifted lazily between islands, their translucent bodies glowing with pale blue light. Kale steered his glider ship, the Whisper, toward the distant outline of a new isle. The wind rippled through his silver cloak, and the compass in his palm thrummed softly, steady and insistent. His goal was clear: reach the edge of the known sky and descend to the mythic world below. But first, he would have to pass through the Shard Fields. 2. The first challenge, the Shard Fields. The Shard Fields were a storm of floating crystal debris, remnants of a shattered moon. Or so the scholars said. They refracted light into 1,000 directions, dazzling and deadly. The slightest touch could tear a glider's sails apart. As Kale approached, the compass flickered wildly. The field was alive, singing in frequencies that only the metal in his bones could feel. A low, magnetic pull that tried to twist his craft off course. Instead of fighting it, Kale adjusted the glider's wings, aligning them to the rhythm of the hum. He used the sky veins' resonance to ride the magnetic currents through the shards, weaving through chaos with a precision that felt half instinct, half music. When he finally burst through to clear air, his ship scarred but intact, he laughed aloud. The compass quieted, approvingly. 3. The second challenge, the Echo Isle. The next stop was the Echo Isle, a massive rock blanketed in moss that shimmered like emerald glass. Legend said it was haunted by voices of those who had fallen into the clouds. Kale landed to rest and repair his glider, but the silence unsettled him. When night fell, whispers began, faint at first, then louder. They came not from the air, but from the ground itself. The moss pulsed under his boots, forming faces that spoke in broken fragments. Turn back. Sky below. Devours all. Kale's breath trembled, but he forced himself to listen. The compass emitted a soft, warm light, and when he held it close to the moss, the whispers harmonized into a melody, a pathfinder's song, sung in the language of the wind. The moss wasn't warning him, it was remembering. The voices were echoes of travelers who had come before, leaving behind their last impressions. He recorded the melody into his compass and followed its rhythm back into the skies. The Echo Isle's voices faded into silence, but one word lingered in Kale's mind: descent. 4. The third challenge, the inverted storm. Beyond the last visible island, the air grew heavy. Kale's instruments went wild as the compass spun like mad. Before him hung the inverted storm, a colossal spiral of wind and lightning that rose upward from the clouds instead of downward. It was the only known path to the sky below. His glider couldn't survive the turbulence, so he activated the compass's true function, temporal phasing. It could bend brief moments of time, letting him slip between thunderbolts. If his focus held, he dove into the storm, the sky tearing open around him in streaks of violet and white. Every sense screamed. He could feel time unraveling in flashes. One moment stretched, another skipped. Through the chaos, Kale guided his descent by instinct and song, following the melody the Echo Isle had taught him. Then, silence. The storm broke. 5. The sky below. He emerged into a space of impossible beauty. Below him spread an ocean, not of water, but of light. The clouds above were mirrored perfectly in it, as though the world had folded in on itself. Floating at the center was a single island, lush, alive, and glowing with bioluminescent flora that pulsed like stars. Kale landed softly. The air was warm and heavy with the scent of ozone and nectar. He knelt beside the glowing sea and touched its surface. It rippled, revealing reflections, not of him, but of every explorer who had sought this place. The sky below wasn't a destination. It was a memory of dreams, a realm that existed wherever someone dared to believe in the impossible. The compass in his hand dissolved into motes of light. He finally understood. The truth it sought wasn't a place, but a state of becoming. Kale stood at the edge of the mirrored sea and smiled. Then, for the first time in his life, he let go of the wind, and the world, in return, breathed him in. When the sun rose above the upper clouds, the storm was gone. But sailors on distant isles claimed that, sometimes, when the wind sang just right, you could hear a single voice calling from below, laughing, free, and forever flying through the endless sky.